This podcast is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Save 20% on all windows, patio doors, and entry doors now through September 30th. That's at no money down, no payments, and no interest for a whole year. Call 717-727-7558 or head to rbacentralpa.com/deals to get in on this one now. Harrisburg saw a spike in overdoses over the weekend. Meanwhile, a federal proposal would up staffing at Pennsylvania's nursing homes. Unpleasant odors are expected to waft through Allentown. And you know about lumberjacks, but here's a lumberjill. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. "22 calls for overdoses in Harrisburg were received by 911 dispatchers between Friday and yesterday," reports PennLive. 8 were fatal, with the majority suspected to be caused by drugs laced with fentanyl. The city, on average, records about 6 overdose deaths per month. According to authorities, the spike seen over this past weekend could be connected to fentanyl's presence within the drugs without the victims knowing. The Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has proposed nationwide staffing requirements for nursing homes, reports the Philadelphia Inquirer. And while Pennsylvania already regulates nursing home staffing levels, this legislation would exceed the existing number of employees the state currently requires locations to meet. Each home, for example, would have to have a registered nurse on site at all times, making for a required number of nurses, as well as nurse aides at each home to provide routine care. Each resident would also have to receive an allotted amount of direct care time from both nurses and nurse aides as well. While this proposal has been met with praise from some, others have voiced criticism. Some state the unrealistic requirements may force homes to close, while others worry it doesn't come attached with the appropriate amount of funding. Regardless, change at nursing homes, according to health economist Rachel Werner, is, quote, sorely needed. "The Lehigh County Authority just wants to say sorry for the smell," states the Morning Call. "People in Allentown may get a whiff of a foul stench on the air during the next 2 weeks or so, and that's because the LCA is working on an operational issue at the Kleins Island wastewater treatment plant. This work," states an LCA press release, quote, "may cause an increase in unpleasant odors emanating from the plant, impacting residential customers nearby. And while it may smell like rotten eggs, the authority would like for folks to know that it's not harmful." "We've all heard of lumberjacks," says the Philadelphia Inquirer, "but how's about a lumberjill?" That's what the Inquirer calls Martha King of Chelmsford Township in Delaware County, who's the first woman to win 3 national titles in timber sports. In fact, she's been called the, quote, champion of champions, unquote, in events for chopping and sawing wood. She also says she hates the gym and that dragging brush and trees for her family's tree services business is how she trains. And let me tell you, she is ripped. That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, visit PennLive.com. And also please don't forget to rate this podcast, either Apple or Amazon, and to leave it an honest review if you can. Thanks ahead of time, and as always, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Today in PA. This podcast is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Save 20% on all windows, patio doors, and entry doors now through September 30th. That's at no money down, no payments, and no interest for a whole year. Call 717-727-7558 or head to rbacentralpa.com/deals to get in on this one now.